mean,
Really awesome. The element
She has an
asshole.
above, is a little line is insane to me.
Yeah. Well, get used to it. Origins,
No,
10.
no. Once again, he was drunk. He doesn't know how to play it, and he skipped it as a kid, apparently. Okay,
That's
Origins
crazy.
is 6, unless Kyle or Jumbo want to,
No,
talk
you
about how
got
good
it, man.
It's
You
a
got
great
You
map.
got it. You got it.
Best thing.
All right, at number 5, once again, the fact that this is above it, I think, is a little ridiculous, is Horizon Drac.
Yeah.
Great map.
Same
I had
map.
it number 4, but
Good
the
map.
fact that it's above Origins.
Don't say
is absurd.
same map. Shut
Basically
your
the same.
fucking ass.
I
No,
mean,
it's
there's 4
Not even
wonder
fucking
weapons
close.
that you can upgrade that you can all get.
Wait, what's the difference? What's the difference between the two maps?
I couldn't tell
not.
you.
One's in a fucking castle, you jackass.
I'll put it
At this
this
point,
way.
I'm just trying to piss you
I
off.
haven't played Horizon
Yes.
Drac, and I think it would have shook up my top 3 just like watching the map. I think it
I
would.
will say,
Shake
the
up.
only reason that I think Horizon Drac is above Origins in our ranking is because Richie hasn't played it and Jumba hasn't played it, so neither of them are rankings, which Jumba didn't rank it and Richie put it at the bottom. Neither of the ranks count towards it. I think it would have pulled it a little lower, because the only 3 spots it has is Kyle put it 3, I put it 4, Wyatt put it 9. That's all that ranked it, so...
Well, also, like, okay, seriously, though, like, being dead serious, like, it does take a lot from Mob of the Dead. Like, there's a lot of elements of Mob. It
Agreed.
takes a lot of elements from other maps. It takes
Agreed.
the dog thing with the dragons from Mob.
Yes.
It takes the elemental bows away from Origins. Like, it is, I still like it. I still enjoy playing it. I have a good time playing it. It's just that I feel like it does take a lot from other maps,
I agree.
you know?
It does, but I feel like it combines it in a way that makes it feel different. Plus, like, you're in a fucking castle. Like,
Yeah.
that's just so cool. To
No,
me.
the
You know what
environment's
I mean?
great. I think the environment's great. I think it's good.
The bows are also badass. Honestly, the only thing I actually dislike about Horizon Drac is the fact that they brought back Panzers. Because I'm just a sucker for don't rehash something like a Wonder Weapon or a boss zombie or something like that. That's just like, I know that from Origins. Why is it in this castle in the Alps? You know,
Bro,
that doesn't make sense.
the cutscene where you see Maxis in the Easter egg was so
When you
sick.
go back in time.
Yeah, like that was so cool. I was not expecting that because once again, I didn't do Easter eggs when I was younger, and I didn't watch the guide. So watching that for the first time, I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like he's
I
such
will
a
say-
core character.
Jumba and Kyle were not there when we did the Horizon Drac Easter egg, which I think is a little unfortunate because I think it might be my favorite Easter egg ever.
It was.
I wanna do it
I
again
think it's
before,
a top
but-
3 for me.
Well, I want to do it.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we,
no,
we've
we
got
will,
to
we
do
will
it
go back and
before.
do it.
We'll
which
do
you
it
don't have to
again.
have 4 players, so we, if you guys ever want to do it together,
Oh,
let's do it.
there you are.
But
Yeah.
I'd be down to hop in there because, like I said, I've done it twice now. I did it solo. I did it with 4. I think it's a really good Easter egg.
Really
I
good.
Enjoyed it.
It's really good. Perfect
So-
amount of challenging too.
I want to get it. I want to do that before we move on to Black Ops 4. 1, because my computer doesn't have that much space, so I need to get rid of BO3. And 2, because I mean, I just want to like get all the ones out of the way that like I wanted to do for BO3 before we move on to BO4.
Agree.
Yeah,
Agree.
yeah,
Listen, I mean, if you guys are down at any point, like I said, we don't need 4 people for it, so
Yeah.
yeah.
we can just run it real fast, and it's not too hard to where like we would fail. Like I said, I've done it twice and I beat it both times first try. So Horizon Drac is 5th, and number 4 we have Buried. I think it's a little inflated, but we have Buried.
Yeah.
No, that's kind of low for me.
I got
honestly.
Buried
You
number
Kyle,
1.
You had it 4th on your list. What do you mean? Did I have it 4th? You had it 4th.
All-time moment. There we go.
All right. Well, no.
The reason it's that high is because Wyatt put it number 1.
Yeah, that's always
Oh,
been
you
my
put it
favorite
number
map.
Kyle, you were the second highest at 4. Richie and Jumba both had it at 6. I had it at 8.
Yeah, Buried. I think since I have it number 1, I'll just go off on it a little bit.
Go for it.
I've never been a big setup guy, but this one, the setup on this one, I truly enjoy. I love
Yeah, 'cause
setting up
Arthur
on this
does
map.
that shit for you. You bum.
Arthur is so
You're lazy.
cool.
Oh, the
Arthur
mud.
is so
Arthur's
great.
cool. You bitched about that guy for 3 hours straight when we did the.
Yeah,
Listen,
you're the one who blamed.
had
You
our
gaslit
troubles.
Kyle and
We
Arthur.
had our
You
troubles.
gaslit me so bad.
But just like a good friend does, we made up. We're fine. We're back on great terms.
I don't think he
We
made up
feel
with you.
good. But no, there's so much you can do with Arthur. I think it's so sick. The fact that you can use the candy and you can use the booze as 2 separate items to do 2 separate things for him is really cool. 4 buildables. He can build the buildables if you want him to. He can smash the box down in a specific spot if you want him to. He can hold a crawler if you want him to. There's also the witch's house, which I think was one of the coolest like little twists. This map is what got me back, because I was in a lull from zombies for playing so much World at War and BO1 that I was just in this lull, and Kyle showed me Buried. It brought me back fully into the zombies
Mob
fold.
come up before Buried?
I didn't really play Mob. I didn't really play it that much.
Remember the lightning
So
thing.
I
We'll
showed
talk
him
about that
always
Buried,
bothered.
and then
We'll talk
we
about
played
that
Mob
later.
afterwards.
So then getting in there, going through the witch's house, learning all these cool things, finding out that you can blow up the fountain in the middle, the way you pack a punch, the way the maze changes every single time. The wonder weapon is very similar to like an old stage like flamethrower, but just a little bit better.
It's also
it's
like
just
the jet gun if it wasn't ass.
if it wasn't ass, yeah, it's
Yeah.
literally the same thing. It was just awesome. And then there's so many cool like little things you find out later. Like if you have the Galva Knuckles, you can like give money to a teammate, which is something I think was relatively new. Maybe I think Dairise did it in the
Moon.
showers. You could
Moon.
give, or
Moon did it.
did Moon do it?
Yeah. Because I remember
Moon
you
did
could
the hacker.
Jay with
Okay.
the
You could hack
hacker
people and
was
give people money.
gassing
I didn't
me
even
up
I
with
didn't
money.
even know that. So
We
yeah,
did
I
it during
just
our Easter egg. Jay, I think, gave
Yeah,
us all
dog.
money.
Remember when you died and
I choked out on the
give
moon.
you money?
How would I remember
I had
that?
to
I had
give
no-
you money so you
I
could
had
get
no
perks
oxygen
back.
in my brain. I completely forgot about
Did
it.
Facts,
choke out.
facts.
I
Facts.
choked out in the moon. Now I just love Buried to death, dude. I just love everything about it. I'm also like a big Western guy. I love that vibe. So that being the vibe, also the Western pistol being in there was sick.
Western
the time
pistol.
bomb, dude. There's so much cool stuff. The fact that you could go back to the main room was also great. And then there's that one LMG where you get one chance to get it, and if you can get it, that's great. If you can't get it, it's gone forever. I just love little weird stuff like that. So Buried's my favorite, and I spent the most time on Buried.
The only reason I said it's a little inflated is because nobody else had it in our top 3s, and most of our top 6 here, multiple people have it within a top 3, except for Buried. So it's like all of us think it really highly of it. It's a great map.
Yeah.
But it was the only one I think out of the top 6 that you were the only one that put it top 3.
I will give the one problem with it. It's too easy. A lot of people say it's too
Yes.
easy. I agree. It is too easy. I still enjoy it anyway.
I thought it was enjoyable. I actually had a lot of fun playing the Easter egg, even though we had our struggles and skill issues that made it take forever, and you were
Yeah.
gaslighting Kyle.
Yeah.
You gaslight the fuck out of
You
me.
bastard. But at the same time, I don't know. I think it's pretty easy, and the setup I don't know. Like I said, I like stuff to do, and although there is stuff to do on it, I feel like the setup is a little like easy when Arthur can just go do all that shit for you. You know what I
That's
mean? Like
true.
you can just tell him to go build the thing for you, and you don't have to build it. You don't have to go get any of the parts for it. You can just go like imagine on Origins, you can just go tell him to get the staff parts for you.
That'd be
Like,
so sick.
well, that's
I'd
kinda
probably
boring.
I'd probably rate it. Yeah, 9.
It is a cool factor, but it's what brings it down a little bit for me is that you can do like the super easy mode on it, which
Yeah.
You can also just run through the witch's house and get all your perks for free. You can also just sit in that corner with the pulsar thing and just not shoot your gun ever and get to like round 200.
Yeah,
So-
that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, but you don't have to do those things.
You don't
They're
have to do those
optional.
things.
Okay, so that is our top 4. At number 3, we had Darice. We already went on about that. So go listen to that whole explanation. Once again, apologies for the incorrect math there. So at number 2, we have 2 maps left. Garad Krovi, Mob of the Dead. And number 2 is going to be Mob of the Dead,
Oh my God, we have Gorod Krovi
which
number
means
one.
Garad
Yeah.
Krovi is our number 1, which I did
Yep.
not expect coming
I
into
didn't
this.
expect that either.
Especially when I sit here and look at the fact that 3 of us have Origins number 1, but
Yeah.
2 rat bastards decided to drop it to number 6.
So
The most
insane.
absurd thing I've ever heard.
I think-
Even
show
if you
business.
guys, here's the thing,
That's
if you guys
show
put
business.
Origins at like 7, I'm pretty sure Origins takes the spot number 1.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we all had it number 1. So the fact that y'all put it at 10 is disgusting. But let's talk about Mob of the Dead. It is number 2. Previously, my favorite map of all time, Origins eclipsed it. I had it number 2 overall. Richie had it number 2 overall. Jumba had it 3rd. Kyle had it 5th. Wyatt had it 7th.
I need more time on it, to be honest. I need some more time on it.
I think you need more time on it. Here's what I love. Once again, I love maps where you have to do stuff. Mob was the first map that you had to do stuff, and it was fun, unlike Transit. Because Transit you had to do stuff, it just
And
freaking
it
sucked. The Wonder Weapon is so sick. It's not only like has the gun and the Pack-a-Punch version, but you can upgrade it with the acid to make it even cooler. So the Wonder Weapon's sick. I think it is the proper amount of challenging where there doesn't feel like there's such easy camping spots or such easy training spots. Like the easiest training spot is the cafeteria, but even then, like, you have to have the shield. You probably need the Hell's Retriever, and if you want to go long, you got to have that Wonder Weapon because it is still relatively close quarters. And Brutus can spawn and screw you up because he's annoying and like sprints at you. He can lock the box. He can lock like certain wall buys and like piss you off that way. The Easter egg is really fun. It's a celebrity cast. You're on Alcatraz, which is like one of the coolest environments possible. And I think the story might be, in terms of just like a individual map story, might be my favorite of all time. That you have these prisoners, they don't understand why. Only one of them realizes that they're in a death loop where they keep dying and they keep respawning back onto this hell prison with all these zombies spawning. The other three don't know that they're in this loop, and so he's trying to figure out a way to get out of this loop. And the whole time, the other three are just simply trying to escape the prison with this plane. And this is his plan, to escape them with this plane and get to the Golden Gate Bridge, which is also really sick that you get to go there.
Yeah.
That's my rant. Or not my rant, my spiel. Anybody else want to talk about Mob?
I mean, you went on everything like that. I could not have said any of that better. But like, just on the do things, like I had never played Mob before. Remember, like the whole reason we started this was because I said on a podcast I've never played Mob of the Dead,
Which,
and then
once at my time, was my favorite map, and I was appalled.
And then you messaged and you said no, Mob of the Dead is crazy. And then we had done like a practice run, Jay, like me and you. I think we'd done like even 2 or something like that. But like, you just taught me briefly just some of the setup of it, that then when we did the actual run, it was like the first time when we thought about doing all these Easter eggs. Like I said, Shang had disappointed me because I just sat around on round 3, but then Mob started and I was like, okay, I'm here, I turned on this, I got the key, I did that, well someone's on the other side of the map doing this stuff, and then like we converged, and then like you said, the rest of it, the story, going to the Golden Bridge, the Pack-a-Punch, Brutus, everything, all pretty sick. Even the final fight where you have to 3v1 or get 1v3'd. All of it's cool.
1v3.
All of it's cool.
Yeah.
So
I will say also great super weapon.
Yep.
Fucking so cool.
Kyle's always said that. He's always had high remarks for the Wonder Weapon.
I have.
Yeah.
I like the blunderbuss though. I don't like it with the acid gas.
Which
But
is
that's just
crazy.
me.
Which is
that's
nuts.
just me.
That's wild.
But
As
that's
a
just
Wonder
me.
Weapon guy, you don't want the stronger version. That's like I like the Wonder Weapon. I don't like Pack-a-Punching it though. Like
It's
that's
me
a
with
lot
the
for
Winter's
me.
Howl, basically. It's basically it.
Yeah.
okay.
It's basically me with the Winter's Howl.
I like shooting it and it just obliterates everything in front of me.
And
I think that's just fun.
The only other thing I was gonna say is this is, now that we've revealed what it is, it's like my top 3 when Origins, Shadows, Mob. So I clearly have a type of map I like.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
I will say, because this was one thing that, because I didn't say this at the time, but talking about Shadows, one of the things that brought it down for me at number 10 is I prefer Mob's Afterlife innovation to the Beast stuff.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
didn't really
That's
care
fair.
much for
Yeah.
the Beast mode, and I thought Afterlife was such a creative way, because think about it. In Cold War and all the recent like zombies games, they're trying to replace perks in a way that feels good. They don't want you to have Jug or Double Tap and the crutch perks. Mob is the only time I ever felt they did that successfully with Quick Revive,
Agreed.
where they have the Afterlife system, which does make the map easier because you basically have a built-in Quick Revive every single round. But at the same time, I think the map is challenging enough that the Afterlife doesn't feel like so overpowered and oppressive. And I feel like they integrated it so well with the story, with the Easter egg and the way the setup of the map, that it's just really fun. I love Afterlife, so.
I'm not
Yeah,
a big
I appreciate-
Easter egg guy. Or sorry, not Easter egg guy. I'm not a big Wonder Weapon guy. And I loved the Wonder
You
Weapon
did.
on this map. I loved
You did.
it to death. I was like, this is awesome. And I don't really, I typically defer Wonder Weapons to everybody else because I don't really enjoy using them. But that one I enjoyed the hell out of that weapon. It was awesome. That was awesome.
I remember,
So that's really all I have, Dad. I just got to play more.
Yeah, you definitely do. I remember me and Kyle, when this map first came out, we did nothing except play fucking Mob of the Dead for hours.
Hell yeah.
I fucking love this map. That's why I have it second, coming in after Darius. But I fucking love this map. I do love the atmosphere of it. It's Yeah, it's a great
Top
map.
2 atmosphere.
Yeah,
Got to be top 2.
100%. I know you don't like the flashing, but you could get past that, bro.
No, I did. It's not even that I don't like it. It bothers me. Like I just get. It gets me tired after a while. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, I
It just
see
like
that,
after a
yeah.
while, I just get tired. That's why I
Yeah,
never wanted
mentally
to play it.
taxes. Yeah.
All right.
I do say the Tommy gun just so good.
Goated.
You know, nostalgic. The character selection, like the way they talk to each other.
When you
I
want
think
to talk
it's
about
fun.
map exclusive weapons, I do love the fact that they brought back some of those like old mobster guns
Yes.
for that map
Yes. Yeah,
specifically.
yeah.
Like it's just mob is like the one time where I feel like they took a theme and they did it to perfection.
Perfection,
You know what
dude.
I mean?
Yeah.
It's so demonic. Like there's so
Yeah.
many elements of it.
The
Like
red zombie
Alcatraz.
eyes, which
Bro.
apparently they did on, like they just did it. There was no reason for it, and then the people who made the map found out later that the zombie eye color meant something, and they were like, "Oh, so now it's like the hell dimension type of thing." But
Yeah.
at the time when they released it, that's not what it
That's
was.
not
It
what
was
they
just,
meant.
just
The-
red eyes are badass. So.
The golden spork and the way you get it, where like there's
golden
a
spork.
there's a bathtub of blood and the fist comes out holding it. It's like, dude, there's so many
Yeah.
great things about it. Like it's
Yeah.
It's
Sounds
just,
like
it's
you really like
good.
this map for 7.
I just have to
I'm
play it
kidding,
more
I
to be
know.
honest. But like, yeah,
Yeah, the
it-
fact that you had it the lowest rated is crazy, and it still was
still-
number 2. It might have been number 1 if you had it higher.
yeah, I just got to play it a little bit more. But I do really enjoy the map. It is top 10, and some of these other ones I would play before it, but that could easily change as if I play it more and get more accumulated with the map and everything like that. But still a good map, and that just leaves Gorod Crovey.
Yeah, which I will
Gorod,
say,
dude.
it does feel a little bad that our cumulative best map of all time, not a single one of us actually rated it number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, us 3 had Origins, Richie had Derice, you had Buried. But that just goes to show how highly we all thought of it. Now, once again, Richie didn't rank it.
Richie
I
had it
had it
second to
third.
last.
I had it third. Jumba had it fourth. Kyle had it second. Wyatt had it second. Wyatt, Kyle, y'all had the highest rank on it. Talk about it.
I mean, me and Kyle played together when we found out
So
that you
much.
rode a fucking dragon to go to get Pack-a-Punch. When we had that cutscene happen, we collectively shit our pants. Like it was like, what the fuck? Like you're flying through the air, this dragon's dodging cannon fire, and then you get dropped off into this room. We walk up to this thing, I'm like, Kyle, it says hold square here. We hold square, we get locked into this fucking room. We've got zombies coming left and right. We're like, oh shit. We're trying to survive. It like brought back that feeling of like early Nocturne Toten where I open a door and then like a zombie's coming at me from this direction. Like remember when you go into the help door room and then they come out of the wall? You're like, oh fuck, they're
Yeah.
coming out of the wall. It gave me that feeling again. I was like, dude, I feel it in my loins once again. Then you finally leave, you go back out. Then you have all of these different things you have to go do for the Easter egg. The Easter egg was incredible, by the way. The final fight was sick. The fact that it's
So
Nikolai,
cool.
which is probably got to be a lot of people's like top character, if not top 2. Like he's just a
My
very
favorite.
good character. So you have him. It's like the perfect amount of there's open, but it's also kind of like closed in certain spots. Like, you got to be very careful. There's a lot of setup to it. I was still learning new things about it as we were doing the Easter egg. I was just like, what are these dragon wings for? It's like, oh, you can fly back to the spot. What is this helmet
Actually,
for? Oh, it helps you with
apparently, I saw something with those dragon wings after starting to interrupt. Apparently, they're like crazy OP. They like reduce
Really?
damage and everything too. I don't know. Like I saw that somewhere like just after, but like yeah, I don't know. They do
I don't
more.
think they do.
I'd have
They
to
might,
look it up,
maybe
but,
the
like,
dragon fight, but I'm pretty sure they just teleport you to the dragon incubator place.
Interesting.
I
Either
know the
way,
Mangler
I think
one
there's
did
an
more
there's an
damage,
OP mask on that, or the OP helmet on that one. I know there is.
30
There's like
Dragon
one that
Wings-
does a
No,
bunch
no,
of
no.
shit.
The
Fast
OP
travel
one is
to
on
Pap.
Revelations. Sorry, go ahead.
it says fast travel to PAP, and then there's a terminal that will give you they also give you 30% more damage resistance and 30% fire damage resistance
for the dragon.
From the dragon.
from the dragon.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
30%. I don't know. It says 30% damage resistance. I don't know if that's for everything.
Either way,
There's no way. That would give you like an extra hit to down, no?
that'd be nuts.
I don't know. It just says they also
You'd
give you
have
30%.
dragon blood in you.
Says they give you 30% more damage resistance and 30% fire damage resistance. This is a Reddit post by some guy from 8 years ago, but I don't know. That's what it says.
We should
That's
trust it.
interesting.
We should
Anyway,
trust it.
the OP one is on Revelations. You can literally get like a 12 hit down if you get the super OP.
Oh,
helmet.
that's that crazy helmet.
yeah, on Revelations. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
we didn't go for it because I was tired.
Yeah.
Either way, I think it's one of the best. And then you get a fucking little baby dragon that'll fly around and
baby
help
dragon,
you.
yeah.
You get a blade.
Not only that, but you get like a Doomfist punch that just fucking
It goes
clock
hard.
people.
I also we didn't even upgrade the shield. You know the dead
Yeah. You
dragon
can also
in the
upgrade
beginning of the map.
The monkey bomb.
I didn't know that. See, I'm still
Yeah.
learning new shit about this map. Like, it's so good. Like, it's just, and then the environment, you look up in the fucking sky. Talking about an environment like Origins, you look up in the sky, and there's just dragons fighting planes in the middle of the air. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
So that environment's badass, but if you just take the dragons out, it's so dull, it's bland, we don't love it.
Yes.
That's insane.
Exactly.
That's insane to me.
Doesn't have mud.
The dragons are cool. Like, I'm not saying they're not, but that's insane that
Doesn't have mud, though.
you like the fact that there's dragons fighting planes above you, but you don't like the fact that there's just planes fighting above you in World War One.
Mud, though. And dragons are cool.
Once again,
dragons are
skill
so cool.
issue. If you're struggling with the mud, you're ass. I'm gonna be real. You are ass. The mud is not that big of a deal on it. Anyway.
Anyway, last thing I want to say about it is just the fact that when I first landed in this map, I thought it was way too over the top. I was like, this is stupid. And then when you actually start playing it, you realize like, oh, there's a reason for all of this, and there's a meaning behind it that you learn from the Easter egg. And you're like, okay, that's sick. So basically, yeah, I love Gorod. I had it second. I had a second.
Couple things I want to say. One, Nikolai is my favorite character by far. So this being like Nikolai's map is like really drives it home for me. Plus, you know, I kind of miss Drunk Nikolai. Drunk Nikolai was like my favorite one. Where like one of my favorite lines from Old World at War is like when he gets the PTS or whatever the big ass sniper.
PRS, PTS.
I forget what it. PRTS or whatever it's called. He gets the big ass sniper. He goes, "Oh, this is the same weapon I used to kill my third wife." And he's like, just goes off. And I'm like, dude, this guy's just a rock star. Just drinks vodka and goes ham. And so I was like, I always liked him as a character. And then they kind of dulled him down in like Black Ops 3. And so, you know, the fact that we get Drunk Russian again is like super awesome for me. And then just the map itself is just so cool. The Wonder Weapon's great. Just absolutely fucks. There's a lot of weapon exclusives that are on the map that are sick. And then you didn't see this, but when you upgrade the monkey bombs, they become dubstep monkeys.
Oh my
and they have
God.
like dubstep music
Yep.
and they fucking dance. It's so sick.
My God.
And then some of the other shit on there is just so cool, like flying the dragon, the double G strikes, like all that shit is just so cool. Like the G strikes where you just put it on the ground, a dragon flies by and just shoots fire at it. Like there's so much cool shit in this map that, and plus I feel like once you finish the Easter egg, it has one of the best like things of all time.
Cutscenes.
You get all the perks. You never lose them. Like it just makes it so like worth it to do
We
it.
got to do an Easter egg one day where then we continue playing after.
Yeah, just
the
see how
problem
far we
is,
can go.
problem is we always start these at like midnight my time, so I'm like,
I
I don't
know.
want to play anymore.
The big problem is the time difference.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that like when they get off work,
they
and all
gotta
this
get
stuff,
off work. It's like nighttime for me. No, I understand that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Gorod. Do you guys want to add anything else? Or are we good with the rankings?
No.
I think we're good on the rankings. Whenever we finish BO4 Cold War, I think we revisit this, and I do
Yes.
think that maybe when we are a little further away from playing BO3, maybe we even change some of our opinions there in terms of maybe we bump Shadows of Evil up or something.
I wonder how high Gorod
Jumbo will
stays.
finally have Horizon Drac on there, you know, stuff like that. So, and maybe hopefully by that point, you know, Richie bought a PC and played BO3 with us. I
Let's
don't know.
hope.
I mean,
Let's
we're
hope.
just throwing this out there. I don't know.
Also, are we playing Advanced Warfare Zombies?
The plan was to just play Treyarch Zombies, so I don't plan to because I think that Zombies mode is ass. But if you guys
I
want
like
to, go
that
for
one.
it.
It was good zombies, but
I don't know if I'm gonna buy that one.
Yeah, if you guys want to buy
Got a
that,
lot on my
go-
plate.
You go for that one.
Sure.
I will not be.
Okay, well, ladies and gents, that is our cumulative list of all of the Zombies maps. Thank you guys for tuning in, as always. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Pack a Podcast. We are going to start our endeavor into Black Ops 4 and also Cold War. I don't know if we're going to do the exact same one like like Jayhawk said earlier, if people want to do them, they can. If they don't want to do them, it's fine. We probably won't run 4 deep on every single one, but we are going to try and do them. And we also just want to play the maps again just to see where we would rank them so we can revisit this list, because I do think Black Ops 4 does get judged a little too harshly playing some of these old ones again. I do have that feeling of like, oh, this isn't as bad as I remember it being. It's still not nearly as close to like any of the other ones, but it wasn't as bad. And I'm kind of excited to get into these new ones, but we'll update you guys as that goes along, as well as getting closer to Black Ops 6. We'll keep you guys updated with some news when we have some future pods here talking about our thoughts and all of that. Thank you guys for tuning in as always.
And I will say, if you want to know our individual list, I can send them in the Discord or something.
Yeah,
Might
we
just
should
send
do
a
that.
Screenshot.
Yeah. We'll send a screenshot of our individual list, and you guys can roast us accordingly. So we will do that as
like
well.
putting
I'll have
Origins at 10.
yeah, or having Origins anywhere above 10. It's the mud, really.
you're
I don't think a lot of people would
Disgusting
disagree
trash.
with that, you know? I think
Maybe.
you'll get flamed for your take significantly more.
I'm used to it at this point. I've been doing this for years.
Also-
it's part of the job.
Before we end, we actually do have an announcement. With the first ever Pack-a-Pod draft, I won.
Oh, did
Oh,
you win?
Jayhawk did win.
I
I
saw
got
that.
dead
Yeah.
fucking last.
Was there
That's
zero
just terrible.
votes?
I will say we need to try and rally some more people to vote on this. We only had, I think, 8 total votes, but I got 4 of them. So
Where
got
was
4 of
where
them?
was
Wait,
that posted?
how many votes-
I didn't
how many
see
votes
that.
did I
it
get?
was in the
Kyle.
Grab
It was
My
in the
Banner
GMB
Discord.
Discord.
Kyle,
we
me
made
and
a
you
whole
both
pack
got
of
I got
votes.
1 vote.
Kyle and
got
Richie
zero.
both
Shout out,
got
me and
1
Richie
vote.
tied.
Jumba got 2. I got 4. Wyatt got 0, dead last. So
That's fine.
Shout
That's
out.
fine. I think it's a bias. That's fine. I'll take it.
I think
I'll be the villain.
I think it's small sample size.
I'll be the
real. I
villain.
did not expect to come out there with a win. The fact that I won with 4 total votes does not make me feel like I'm the greatest winner in the world.
Come on, time bomb. They're not giving the time bomb to the child. I thought that was going to carry me.
That's true.
My
thought the
acid
curse
gat blunder,
device.
my blunder bat pick probably screwed me there.
It probably screwed
Probably-
you a little bit
probably a
there.
little fucked.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gents, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we'll catch you guys soon for another Pack a Pod. See ya.
Imagine trying to take on one of the big car companies. It's not easy. 50 years.
You look, call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO? Come see me at visitmo.com.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Pack A Podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, we are just a few days away, two in fact, away from Black Ops 6 being out, and for the first time in 4 years, round-based zombies is back in our possession. We're feeling good. We're feeling great. I think before we get into the episode, we got to do a quick roll call here because not everybody is here from the last episode. I'm here. Jay's here. Kyle is here. Richie is here. The only one missing is Jumba. And we have replaced Jumba, at least for this episode, with Chris.
Hello.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
You play zombies?
Sometimes.
Yeah, not that often. But
When
you
they
played
invite me,
recently.
when they invite me, I play.
We invite you all
Never.
the time.
We invite you all
They
the
hate
time.
me.
We
Actually.
invite you literally all the
They
time.
only
never
invite
show
me
up.
when they need a ringer for an Easter egg.
Yeah, we do. That's actually the only time we invite you is then.
Yeah,
We invite you then.
that's the only time.
Honestly, you know, when you need a ringer for an Easter egg, Chris isn't a bad one
Oh,
to
you've
pick
done.
up.
You've finished Duraz Rock, right?
No.
Ooh.
I think the
That's
only
the only one I've done.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think the only one you don't want is probably Brian as your ringer. That's like, I mean, we're
Is that a
pulling from
ringer?
the practice squad.
Is that a
Yeah.
ringer?
Brian's
No.
real good at giving us the directions from the bench
Yeah,
and
yeah.
helping us out.
He's like a coach.
He's a good coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
He's a
like
good
you're
coach.
the quarterback with the speakers in your helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's got the headset on.
he basically
He would have
saved.
got to delay a game, though.
Yeah, yeah.
It took him a while there.
Yeah, it did take him a good amount of time, but Brian, he was a good bench boss. You know,
Yes.
he helped us out. Without him, who knows where we'd be at with the Shadows of Evil Easter egg.
Still be on
we
it.
didn't know anything about that last part. We
Well-
were like literally got into it, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't think the zombies community did a great job of explaining how quickly that step was going to start and how fast it was going to be.
Yeah. Honestly, when you're getting chased by like 8 Margwas, I think you're just like everything's out the window. I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, but Brian would be good for that. He's a good bench boss. But ladies and gents, we're not going to talk about Easter eggs here today. We're going to go through the Black Ops 6 Zombies blog post that just came out last week. Talk a little bit about all the changes they made from the original version of Liberty Falls, otherwise known as Liberty Balls. Don't know if we can call it that anymore. We'll get to that here in a second, and then we're going to go through some of the different things that they are changing, as well as some news updates and stuff like that. I guess to start it off, we gotta mention once again, games coming out in just a few days, and the biggest thing that was on our mind on the last episode was how bad Liberty Balls looked. It was horrendous. It looked like you were
trash.
loading into a Warzone match. Looked like you were loading into multiplayer. The colors were off. It just looked not like zombies. And for our first look at round-based in a long time, it was very underwhelming, and there was a lot of discourse surrounding the community about if we thought that this was going to be good and what we were feeling. Our initial thoughts were obviously very concerned because, you know, obviously this was technically the first map back from round-based, and we all voiced that last time. They have since made some changes. They listened to the community, and to kind of go through it on the blog post here, Liberty Falls update. Since the debut of early gameplay footage at Call of Duty Next back in August, the Zombies team at Treyarch has continued to iterate on the look, feel, and sound of Liberty Falls to crank up the map's creepiness factor. Heading into launch, players can expect a moodier visual tone to the map, along with gorier set dressings and a new environmental audio to more intensely reflect the chaos of a very recent dimensional breach. Additional atmospheric elements related to the map's main quest will also be present throughout Liberty Falls as players begin to solve the mysteries waiting for them in the wake of the undead incursion. And of course, there will be a brand new Easter egg song from Treyarch's Kevin Sherwood to discover along the way. So, Jay, I'll throw it down to you real quick. We got to look at the newer version. They had some screenshots, some pictures. And what did you think from the newer version of Liberty Balls?
I mean, I like that they're listening and they heard the feedback that everybody said it didn't feel like a zombies map. And I mean, I'll just say this, from the pictures, like, it looks better, but it still looks you know, like Terminus Terminus looks like a zombies map, and from the pictures, it looks like they just made Liberty Balls darker. Like that's kind of all I noticed. I didn't see a ton of pictures, so I don't know if there was like something I was missing. But from like all the before and after that I did see, it looked like they just kind of made it a little bit more moody. Like that's kind of it.
Well, I mean, the mood change is huge, honestly, in my opinion, because like you don't want a fucking zombies map in broad daylight. Like, what the fuck is that?
Sure.
Yeah, there's no
But
vibe
at
to
the
that.
at the same time, like I feel like the biggest issue was that the map still looks like a multiplayer map to me.
True.
Like,
It is a
it doesn't seem like
multiplayer.
they really changed much of it.
It doesn't. All they
Outside of
really
the color
did,
scheme.
yeah, they just kind of changed obviously the time of day, but I mean, really, it still doesn't look that impressive. It looks better, but I mean, it was ass before, and it's still kind of ass now, but it still at least looks somewhat better.
Yeah, it was the weird part with Liberty Falls, and I don't think changing the tone will forever like kind of change the outlook on the map. It's hard to get rid of that taste in your mouth from when you first saw it, because a lot of the community was saying the people that were complaining were just talking about the map being in the broad daylight. That wasn't really the issue. It was a part of it for sure. But like we've had daytime maps, we've had Shangri-La,
Yeah.
we've had you could even say Shino Numa was in the day. It was overcast, but it's still
Kino's
like
during
bright.
the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kino's during the day. It just really depends on the mood and the rest of the map. And Liberty Falls really truly does just look like a small town in Virginia. And is that the greatest setting for a zombies map? Maybe not. But at least they made the adjustments. The thing that I think the other daytime maps did a good job of is made you feel and know that you are in something that is kind of out of this world, otherworldly.
Like a different setting.
Because Shangri-La has like the underground element. Kino Numa, you start off, even though it is daytime, you start off in just like the weirdest looking, dark, ominous theater. You have that stuff going on. With Liberty Falls, there's a gas station, and then there's a church with like, oh, it's purple in here. like it's hard to get past that, you know?
Yeah,
All I
feel
know
that.
is my first stop is definitely the pump and pay.
The
You gotta go to the
pump
pump
and
and
pay.
Pump and pay.
I might go to the
Pump
bowling
and
alley.
or pay.
The
Yeah.
pump and pay in the bowling alley.
So yeah, I don't know if you can really ever change that. It still has the sickest little intro with Richtofen just grabbing
does.
the Wonder Waffle. You can't really. That's awesome.
That is a sick intro.
That was a sick intro. You can't get rid of that.
That
Bro,
was
I
such
watched
a
the thing. I was like, bro, this gives me chills, like old zombie vibes.
and I loved that it was such a sick intro, and then you go and you actually look at the map and you're like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, especially when those first few videos first popped
They
out.
get you hopeful.
Yeah. So there's that. At the end of the day, you can change as much as you want. If the map doesn't feel great playing like just as a zombies map, you're still going to have that same feeling associated no matter how it looks. And that goes for maps that are like dark too. Like there's just certain maps that weren't great or that weren't as good as they could have been. Like I like Voyage of Despair, but you got to admit that like you think of a zombies map on the Titanic, you'd probably hope for a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a lot of
than
like,
what you got.
A lot of the Black Ops 4 maps, they
A lot
look
of the
great, but it's gameplay is
I
not
mean,
good.
yeah,
or not
another
as
thing-
good as it could be.
Another thing I thought of is 9. Isn't that during the day?
Yeah.
Yep.
So like,
Yeah.
but 9 I think was really well done, and it gives you a great like feel of like I'm in the Coliseum. You know, like we're getting wild.
It's buried as during the day.
Yeah.
There's daylight creeping in, but there's still like those dark areas.
Well, you start outside
Yeah,
and it's sunny, and
yeah.
then you go down. Yeah.
I think all of those maps have like a very similar element, and it's that there is this, hey, you're still in the real world, but also, hey, like things are dark and things are bad and things are going down.
Yeah.
Talk about buried. It's like you got to walk through the witch's house. You got to go through the maze. You got to go down into that tunnel to pack a punch. You talk about Kino der Toten, like we said, you start off in just the worst looking theater of all time. Looks like the walls are going to crumble in on you. And with Liberty Falls, it's like you're just at a gas station and then there's a church and you're like, what's going on inside this church? And that's about it. There's no other element of like, hey, things are amiss here.
Well, that's
you
like
know.
Verruct is during the day, and that's like the scariest map they've made.
Yeah.
The best mood, like best vibe in the series, probably.
I want to say another one, even though this map gets a lot of flack, even though Richie loves it. Die Rise
Yeah.
is the closest one to like an actual like civilized place
Like
because
real world.
you're in a building basically, like you know it's like a regular building, And like, yeah, there's like sewing machines in a floor. There's some other shit. And like, makes you feel like you're actually in like an office building of some kind at one point. But now it's been overrun. But it's got plenty of things to show that, yeah, this place is fucked now. You know what I mean? Like, when you walk into Liberty Falls, it's like, wow, you know, is somebody working the gas station today? Like,
Is this
can I go?
Pumpkin pay?
Yeah, can I go in and get a Coke real quick? Like, that's what it feels
The
like.
other maps, you know, something's amiss. Liberty Falls, it's like, I think the kids are still going to go to school tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't think they're
should be
postponing
fine.
anything.
They should be fine.
Yeah. So there was that. And we still have to play it. So it remains to be seen if this is actually going to be a big deal. But at least for now, I'm happy that, like what Jay said, I'm happy that they at least listened. It feels good that
something.
It feels good that the community said something and they all heard it and they were like, hey, we're making changes. And it goes back to the point I made last episode, which was it feels like they're pouring way more into zombies in this game.
Way more effort.
Way more than in previous games, maybe all the way back to Black Ops 3. Because in this one, they are... There's been so much hype surrounding zombies. There's been so many like different leaks and drops and even like merch that they're selling. Like it goes into that. Like you can tell that they've put a lot into this mode, and I think they're starting to realize how important this mode is. People have grown up with this mode. We are a perfect example of that. Like we have all here on the show grown up with this mode as a pretty significant part of how we've gamed and how we learned how to game. And so I think they're taking it very seriously, and that's the best thing that can come out of it. If Liberty Falls ends up sucking, but we get Terminus, which we'll talk about in a second, and it's fucking awesome, and we're back to round base and we're feeling the love, then at the end of the day, you know, we'll take a shitty gas station map with the purple church.
Hey, don't talk about my pump and pay like that, bro.
And yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect pump and pay. I'm sorry.
What's kind of funny
subject.
is... So I was at work yesterday and I was talking shit to one of my coworkers. Basically just said, yeah, bro, you going to play Call of Duty as soon as it comes out? And he's like 40 years old. And he was like, I actually just started gaming because he mentioned a gaming chair. I was like, yeah, you going to get Call of Duty? He was like, yeah, I'm ready for some round-based zombies. I was like, dude, did you play the OG maps? Or like, you an OG player? He was like, no, I barely started playing Call of Duty. I was like, yeah, you bitch.
You missed out.
So like, I mean, it's still
Go
drawing
back.
people into it, even with the way it looks now. But I mean, it's something.
To
At
those-
least it's getting bigger.
To those players, they'll probably have fun no matter what.
Yeah.
So that's always good, and I think that that's just another example of how the marketing is working and how the marketing is slated. Like I don't think marketing in other games, except maybe BO3, was this good for zombies. Even when zombies was at its peak, it's not like it was the forefront of the videos dropping.
It wasn't your main draw. For,
No.
It would be like, you're getting 4 new multiplayer maps, 6 gun weapon skins. There's a zombies map. Yeah.
Way in
So-
the back, it's like, yeah, you way back there. We have the zombies map.
Exactly. Okay, so other than the
Real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Real quick. I did want to make the point that the one thing that even if, let's say, Liberty Balls, right? Like it's still Liberty Balls. It still sucks. It is what it is. The mood changes, whatever. It's, you know, it's nice, but it's still, you know, the map's not great. People don't love it, whatever. The one thing that I'm encouraged about is the fact that they've acknowledged that they're listening to feedback already right now. So that means for the future DLC maps, I can only imagine that it's like, okay, we made that mistake. It's a little too far gone. The map's already made. The game's coming out. We can't just like completely change everything right now. But for the future maps, let's not do this. And so I feel like the fact that they've already acknowledged, like that's the big thing. Even if they changed nothing on the map, but they were like, listen, we heard your feedback. Realize y'all don't like this. Just know we know this, right?
Yeah.
Like that's big to me because that just means that they're willing to learn from the mistakes and accept like we messed up. It is what it is. We're gonna be better in the future, which is what I mean. Like coming, you know, we all come from like playing Apex and stuff like that. That just like never happens. You know what I mean?
Never.
They
Like,
don't do that.
So you kind of I like the fact that they're being transparent about that kind of stuff and willing to make changes already, because I think that's going to make the DLC even better.
Yeah, speaking of us coming from Apex and the changes we got, this blog post, it shits on anything we've ever seen from Apex ever, legitimately ever. With Apex, you get a very vague, like, hey, we're working on the audio. we're going to do this, and it's never like an actual thing. It's like we're really toying with things. We're messing around with stuff.
Keep an eye out.
This blog post, I mean, you could scroll for like a good 15 seconds, which is a lot.
It's like a college thesis.
Yeah, they have a lot going on here, and they gave us literally everything. So I can't really complain, and I'm feeling really good about where we are moving forward. Now, if we want to move past the initial changes to the look of Liberty Falls, they also changed another thing, and that was the heads-up display touch-ups. The UI team has also continued to update the game's modular heads-up display, touching up some of the zombie-specific elements that can appear across most HUD preset options and adding new settings. These include character portraits added to the lower left corner by default, general alignment and color adjustments made across the entire HUD, perk icons now positioned closer together, zombie-specific widgets added for certain in-game actions, in-game gobblegum reward animations added, and visibility sliders added to allow players to fine-tune or completely disable additional HUD elements, including score feed, medals and notification, mini-map, opacity, weapon and equipment information, and more. And this is my favorite change because the map, it's going to be hard to change a whole lot of it. Like Jay said, like the maps already, they already made it.
Yeah.
They can adjust the tone. They can do all that. The thing that to me makes zombies feel like zombies is a lot of times what has to do with what you're looking at on your screen. And we've been looking at a very specific type of screen for a long time until I would say about Black Ops 4 when things started to get kind of cluttered. You could even argue Black Ops 3 if you wanted to and say that there was some clutter there. But I honestly think BO3 had one of the best HUDs ever. But they made these adjustments to make it to where you can cater to whatever you want. If you're somebody new to zombies, like Richie's coworker, you probably want to see all that
folks,
stuff.
it's about that time.
Keeps you
After playing
engaged.
this
It's
new
like,
season,
okay,
I
I'm
had to
doing
come
this,
to
I'm
terms with
doing
something
that.
about myself,
But
and
for
that is I
us,
don't have
like,
the patience
I
for
don't
competitive
want to
people. I have
see
tried it, but
the
the cycle of
long
competitive
list
in these
of, like,
types of games are
zombie
just the
kill,
purest
zombie
definition of
kill. I
insanity.
don't
I want
want
y'all to
to
really
see
think
that
about
on my
this. You have to
screen.
fight
I
your
don't
way through
want
3
that.
levels
The
of a
fact that I
rank
can
just to
get
get
rid
to
of
the
that
next
is
rank. And
fucking
each
awesome.
one of these matches and
The
these
fact
levels
that I
can
can see
span
all my
15
perks
to
together
30
on the
minutes
bottom of the
depending on
screen,
how
the
good the teams
character,
are. And that's
little
just
icon
one
of
round.
who
You might
you
have to
are, like,
run this shit back 3
it's
or 4
something
times. Then after
small,
fighting for
but
your
it's
life,
so
you only get a
integral to
certain amount
zombie.
of
Like,
points
you just-
towards your level.
you
Then have to
remember-
play
like,
3
you
or 4
just
more
know
games
seeing
and
those
win
icons,
to
like,
get out
it's
of that
just
first
something
level.
that
God forbid
as a
you
zombies
lose that
player for
match,
all
then
these
lose
years, you
points just to
naturally
have to go
grow
back
to
to the rank you just
become
escaped
accustomed
from.
to.
Then you got
And
all
when
these
it's
ranks
gone,
to
you're
go
like,
through, and a
what the
vast
fuck?
majority is
So,
stuck in the early ones. Then if you're
to
doing too
piggyback
well, they
off
can
that,
ban one of your mains. Then boy, after
they
all that
changed
fighting
the
to
HUD
get to the rank that
display
you want,
for
they have to bring you
multiplayer
back
as well,
down after
and they
another season
changed
just for
it
you
to
to have
where
to
it's
fight your way
completely
back up to the top
customizable.
all over again. And
So
I
I
know a
think
lot of
they're
y'all
gonna
are
do a
like, yeah, that's
similar thing
competitive
for
in a nutshell,
zombies.
dude.
So
Like,
it's
I can
not
understand
like
if you were going for a team and you
if
wanted to
you
do esports
wanted
type
the
shit. That's
thing that
fine.
tells
But I'm
you
not
that
about
you
to
get
give
the
myself a
zombie
headache to
kill,
flex
you
a
don't
title
have
for a
to
month.
have
That's
it in
crazy.
the fucking center of your screen to where it pops up every single time you kill a zombie, and it tells you those points in the middle of your screen. You could move it to where, like, if you still want it, you could have it like off to the right or up at the top. Like, you can change the placement of it because they changed that in like basically in like multiplayer. So it's like if you get a kill streak or whatever and it tells you that you got it, you can change it to where it pops up on a different portion of your screen wherever you
Just
want it
move
to
it
show
around
up.
your screen pretty much.
So it's not as cluttering. Like it doesn't say like you got a 7 kill streak and it like pops up this big thing in the center of your screen. You're like,
Blocks
what
half
the
your
fuck?
screen, yeah.
You're like, well, now I'm dead and I lost my kill streak, you bitch.
Yeah, because I can't see fucking shit because you just told me I got a Harrier. What the fuck?
Just gave me a big ass medal on my screen
Yeah.
for completing a challenge.
Yeah, so basically they made it so you can move that wherever you want. So I think they're going to do a similar approach with zombies where you can just adjust it however you like it.
Hopefully.
And I think that it's just another change that everybody was talking about. You go into the videos at COD Next and you're just like, what is this? Am I playing Warzone or am I killing zombies?
Yeah.
You watch the person killing the zombies on the screen. There's a fucking laundry list of like things that they did on the screen. You're like, bro, I don't want to see this.
I don't want it.
I
yeah.
just want to be able to get immersed in the zombies. And that's one of the biggest parts about zombies is getting immersed in it. And you weren't able to do it with, there's a lot of reasons why, but that was one of them. That was a big one. I think it's a big change. Being able to customize it is great. And I'm excited for that, like moving forward. Jay, did you have anything to add on?
No, I mean, I think the changes are good. I think the fact that it's all customizable so you can put it back to being as classic as you want it is good. And I agree with what Kyle said, because the one thing I did dislike the most, I think, about the changes to the HUD and all that stuff with like Cold War and Black Ops 4 and that kind of direction they started going, was it felt like they tried to integrate it more with multiplayer, but it's like killing a zombie to me doesn't give me the same, like I don't need the same recognition as like when I kill a guy in multiplayer. Like I don't need the game to tell me I killed the zombie, right? Like that just, it takes me out of the immersion of the game almost. And so the fact that, like Kyle said, I can either move that around or just get rid of it completely is nice, because like personally, I don't even really care for like zombie health bars. Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want that either.
And
Mini map.
I hate that shit because it almost takes away like the human touch of zombies, and it just makes it so much more robotic.
Yeah. No, I know
hate
what you're
that.
saying. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I felt it in Cold War, but at that point you couldn't really change anything.
Yeah.
So it was just different. But yeah, I think this is going to be a good step once again moving forward. And I think it's another thing that they didn't just tell us that they changed the HUD. They listed off everything, and then they showed a picture of what the new HUD is going to look like. And it's a big deal.
It looks very Cold War.
Yes. I get that it's very, it's a minuscule thing, I guess, but at the same time, it's pretty massive.
So you're going to be looking at it all the time.
You're going to be looking at it all the time, and it's a major change. Other than that, we have in this blog post every single picture that you could possibly want of Terminus Island, the brand new map that we've learned very little on. Now, on this podcast, we have tried our best to not look at a whole lot of Terminus and tried to avoid a lot of it because we want to be kind of completely ready for the new map.
Blind
To it, as Chris would say. The thing is, though, I did take a little bit of a look, not too long, but I just wanted to see some of these things. And what I will say is Shipwreck and Outer Islands make me really excited for the areas that are going to be on this map and the size of it. Yeah. From everything we've seen and heard and read, it sounds like this map is going to be pretty fucking big. And to be able to move across an entire island, there's also something called like sea caves or something. Very excited to see what this does. And I'm wondering if we're going to get like the Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4 effect where there's like swimming and like extra movement other than just sprinting and stuff. That's going to be cool. I'm really excited to see if we get some of that, as well as like, you think back to like Shino Numa and you think to the gondola and you're like, oh, fuck a gondola. Oh, shit. And now it's like, well, what are we going to get now? Because we're way past a gondola.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I think we are.
we might get a gondola.
What if we get a fucking Sea-Doo and we're out there just spinning around in the ocean? I'm just ready for it. I'm excited for it.
This is what a zombies map looks like, by the way.
Yes.
This
Like,
is
this
way
is
better.
Terminus looks so much more like a zombies map, and it's way more, I feel like it's way more immersive than Liberty Balls.
Liberty Balls.
I'm gonna say, obviously, like I've seen a lot of stuff on Terminus because I mean it's been a while since some trailers and stuff came out. I have seen gameplay. I won't spoil anything. I think you guys will be pretty impressed with it though. As far as seeing what Liberty Balls looks like and then going and seeing Terminus,
night and day.
It's night and day. So
literally,
yeah. So I think you guys are going to be pretty impressed, and I'm pretty excited to actually be able to run it with you guys and not have to worry about my fucking Cold War crashing mid game. But
Shout out.
I'm excited, man. I'm super excited. Jay, did you have anything to add on Terminus? I know you've been pretty like in the dark. You want to be completely in the dark.
Is anybody else wanting to be in the dark?
Sure.
I'm fine.
Because I've seen some things against my
I've
will,
watched gameplay
on Twitter.
So
Go ahead.
I have not watched gameplay, but I don't want to talk about the things I've seen if anybody else here is like completely in the dark and doesn't want to talk about anything.
No, I'm
Go right
good.
ahead.
Okay, so I saw some things against my will. Number one, I did see the pictures from the blog post, because the moment that blog post came out, I follow a couple zombies people on Twitter and stuff, and it flooded my timeline. It was so like, obviously I quickly glanced, and so I've seen some pictures. In terms of all the concerns that we have with Liberty Balls and all the atmosphere stuff, completely like don't have any of those for Terminus. Like you said, looks like a zombies map. They've got the feel right. I feel like the one difference between Terminus and Liberty Balls is with Liberty Balls, it feels just like you said, like just some random ass town where the kids might be going to school tomorrow. Like it doesn't feel like there's a zombie invasion here. Terminus, it has that feeling that every zombies map has, which is there's something going on here that just isn't quite right. There's something deeper that we don't know about yet that's happening at this random place, you know? And so I like that that's there. I did see that there are 3 islands. I didn't see like a bunch of pictures of them, but I heard that there's 3 islands. So that's cool. I've heard that there's a boat you can drive around the water to the islands.
I did not hear that.
I'm hard.
Sick.
So
Yeah.
no gondola, but apparently we're going to be driving a little boat out there.
Hey, listen,
it ain't a
I'm
Sea-Doo,
whipping that
but-
bitch.
Ain't a Sea-Doo,
Whip
but I'll
out.
take it.
Damn.
And then apparently, once again, against my will, I haven't seen video or teasers or anything like that, but apparently there's talk that there's going to be some sort of sea monster boss fight.
Oh, fuck.
So
That'd be
we'll
sick.
see. I don't know if like all the boys are out there with your own individual boats. You got to do boat hopping to revive each other or something.
Oh my God.
That would
I don't know
be
what goes
sick.
on. I don't know if the boat has like weaponry, like a turret, and you're fighting the sea monster. I don't know what the sea monster is, whether it's the Kraken or what. I have no clue. But I saw some sort of tweet, like talking about how there's potentially going to be some sort of sea monster you fight. So, or I don't even know if you're on the mainland while fighting it. I don't know. But anyway,
Fighting
so,
at sea?
Pirates type
That'd be
shit.
sick.
Bro. Pirates?
That would
So
be kinda
I'm,
sick.
I'm interested is all I can say, because I feel like that could be pretty sick, especially I kind of hope that you're fighting while at sea. Like you can fight on land too, but I think it'd be cool if you can like literally hop in your boat, try to flank the big ass sea monster, you know, like, boys, I'm going around, you know, and you go to a different island or something and try to kill him. And then you die, so your friends are
Get
pissed.
eaten.
They got to get in a different boat and go to you because you're the dumbass who tried to pull off a stupid play. I think that'd be interesting. You could swim, maybe. I assume you can swim. I don't know if that's confirmed, but like you could swim in Black Ops 4 and you could swim in Black Ops 3. There's no way you can't swim on this map, right?
Yeah, I would
So
assume.
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. So,
Anyway, I'm excited.
No, I'm pumped. And what we've all said is there's a feel to a great zombies map. There's a feel to a good zombies map. There's also a feel to a bad one. Like you kind of get used to the feels of
Yeah.
everything. This one, just from look, vibe, feel, feels like a great zombies map. And I hate getting my hopes up for these things because especially now in the gaming world, you're let down a lot more than you're feeling good.
Yeah.
But like the amount of effort, the amount of, advertising, the amount of talk that they've done about this game and about specifically zombies, it's hard for me not to feel, bro. It's hard for me not to feel like this one's going to be great. You know, like
You
it's
hate to get your
so,
hopes up,
I
but-
don't want to get my hopes up, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like I feel like if I was going to put my stock into anything, this would be the one. Like I've been podcasting about one specific video game for almost 5 years now.
A lot of letdowns.
A lot of games have come out, and every single one I knew it was going to be a failure.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, Cyberpunk's going to kill Apex. I
It's
was like,
great
no, it's
now,
not.
but-
I've heard it's good now,
Yeah.
but I mean, they missed their mark,
They
right?
did, they
Like,
did.
They missed their mark. All the Call of Duties that have come out since then. Halo. All these games, every single one, I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
The only one that I did get my hopes up for and crushed me was Overwatch 2. And but
That was a
all the
real
other
crusher.
ones.
So, hold on. You boys on GMB literally
the
were starting to
finals.
say that maybe you should make a podcast
Yeah.
around the finals. So
Yeah, that
The
was
finals
I
did
was
feel
not part
fun.
of that conversation.
I
by
loved
the
the
way.
finals.
The
That's
finals
the other one.
was fun, and then it quickly just died.
It quickly died.
Heavy was way
RIP.
too strong, and they should have fixed it sooner.
They should have fixed it sooner. I do feel that, most of the time during my run in these games that I'm like, I don't think it. This one I'm feeling it, dude.
It's
This
just
one,
hype. You
this
just
one
gotta
I'm
be
feeling
careful
it,
with
dude.
hype,
You got to
man.
be very careful.
You,
with
we've
hype.
been burned so many times.
And
with
listen,
hype.
if the multiplayer sucks, I don't give a fuck. If
I do.
the campaign's ass, I don't care.
Hey,
I
whoa,
just
I like
need.
the campaign.
campaigns are great.
I like campaigns too.
Not
I like good ones,
MW3,
but I just need zombies to hit. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it on this one. Okay, let's run quickly through the augments because I think this is big as well, and I want to talk about this. They added in this blog post as well the augments overview. Equip augments to your Perca-Colas, ammo mods, and field upgrades to modify their performance. Augments are unlockable gameplay advantages that you can apply to every Perca-Cola, ammo mod, and field upgrade in the game and provide a rich and innovative customization experience, allowing you to invest into research between matches. There are 108 augments available to unlock and equip at the game's launch, divided as follows: Perca-Cola, 8, each with 6 augments; ammo mods, 5, each with 6 augments; and field upgrades, 5, each with 6 augments. The research. The key to unlocking the full potential of your loadout is augment research. This unlocks at player level 11. Once you research and unlock individual augments, they can be chosen before the start of a match for each individual perk, ammo mod, or field upgrade. Here is the big thing here. Each item has 2 available augment slots, one for major, one for minor. Expect 3 major augments to choose from per item. A major augment offers a substantial advantage to the behavior of the item, usually during use. Expect 3 minor augments to choose from. A minor augment offers a limited advantage to the item, usually during use. Now, here's what I love about this. I like Cold War, and we haven't really gone through like a Cold War overview quite yet, because we've only played a few of the maps. All of us have played together a few times here and there. We haven't gotten fully deep into Cold War. Like we stated at this podcast beginning, we've played a shit ton of the early days. Black Ops 4 and Cold War, we haven't fully got into yet. But we have started to dip our toes into Cold War. And one of my biggest problems with Cold War is all you need to make yourself basically invincible is to just play the game. You get all of the, what's it called? The
Dark
Liquid Ethereum, or Dark
whatever it's
Ethereum.
called.
Yeah.
You get those. You just add them to your perks. You add them to your ammo mods. You add them to your field equipment or whatever, and you become invincible because you unlock all of it, and you just have this laundry list of things that changes your perks and makes them insane, like way too good. So you have all of that stuff, and then at that point, it's like, okay, well, I can't die. I can't lose.
Juggernaut's crazy.
Juggernaut is insane.
Quick Revive was nuts.
Quick Revive
is
also
gross,
insane.
yeah.
With this version, I love this because you get to just pick 2.
Yeah.
And although some of them are very cool and seem very insane, there are some combinations that you can make to where you can tailor your experience however you want. You can make it to where you're a run and gunner. You can make it to where you're, getting these long trains and just going high rounds. You can also make it to where if you're trying to do the Easter egg, it makes it a little bit easier for you. Or if you want to camp, you can do stuff like that as well. I like this system so much better because it gives you the option to how you want to play while taking away just becoming fucking invincible. Which Cold War, you could become fucking
Just
invincible.
play long enough. and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just play long enough and
you'll
you'll
get
get
there,
everything
yeah.
unlocked.
When we had just started playing it, I went back and looked at upgrading my perks. I want to say I had enough of the whatever purple shits are called to upgrade most of my perks entirely, except for the ones that I didn't care about, and then most of the ammo mods almost entirely. And I was like, well, what's the fucking point? I didn't even have to grind for this. I just forgot that this shit was here.
Yeah, it was basically 250. We played 2 games where we got to round 50 or 40 or what, like high rounds.
High
we got
rounds.
to 2 games where we got really high rounds, and we could just unlock everything at that moment.
Yeah.
And it just felt like, okay, well, at this point, you're not even really playing. You're just invincible.
Yeah.
So I really like the system. Jay, your thoughts?
I think it's good too. One of the things I didn't love from Cold War was seeing that, because the one thing that I've always felt about zombies that was fun was like the ability to go from the early game where you feel really weak to finally your setup where you've got all your perks, you've got your pack-a-punch gun, and you're strong. But then at some point the game becomes hard again. Like, you don't just live in easy mode forever. And Cold War definitely felt like once you're like fully set up, like remember that game we played on Mauer, and Kyle for so long just could not die.
Yep.
Because the guy got all his perks, he got really good guns, he pack-a-punched him 3 times, then he was just getting chopper gunners and shit.
Ray gun.
And like the rest of us, obviously when you'd go down, it was hard to reset because there's so many things you have to buy. Like getting triple pack on a gun takes like 50,000 points. But Kyle just never went down until we got like super deep. And so it's just impossible for him to die. And that was without us even using augments. So imagine then we just had all these crazy perk augments. Every perk is juiced to the max. Like, you just become a god. And then zombies, it's boring.
It's easy.
So I like the fact that they made it to where it's only 2, because I think the augments are kind of broken. I don't know. I'm assuming the blog post doesn't say all the specific augments that are.
It does.
available,
It does, yeah.
But
it
I
does.
imagine some of them are probably pretty juiced.
They are.
Some of them are juiced. And
Yeah.
The thing I will say, Jay, is my augments that I had on my perks when we did that were crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that's the problem.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys saw this. This did get announced today on Twitter that apparently, and there was no further explanation as to what this means. But remember how during COD Next, everybody's complaining that it was like hella easy, that all these guys were just getting like round 50 immediately.
Yep.
They said that they have increased the difficulty past round 25.
Yeah,
Oh,
they,
that's
and they
good.
said it was. I think one of the tweets I read, I bookmarked it. I think it said it was like significant. Let me see if I can find this tweet. I'm not seeing it right here, but let me see if I can find it. But basically, after round 25, it's going to get harder. It's going to be a lot harder, and I think that's something we noticed on Cold War 2 was if you full die after round 25, it is very hard to get set up again. But if you're not, and if you're augmented out, you're gonna just cruise.
I was
Yeah.
I was a tank. I literally just could take so many hits.
Taking like 12
And then
hits.
I had the one ability where you just go into shroud form and they can't attack you. It's like a wraith queue. And so every single time I was about to die, I would just pop that.
Like, oh, I can't
And then,
die now.
and then I would just get healed up, and then I would just go back and do the same shit again.
Now, to be completely transparent and totally honest, and we'll probably talk about this again when we get into like breaking down some of these different versions of zombies. I wish augments, even in this game, weren't a thing. If I had full control, I would get rid of it entirely. Going back and playing Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 with the boys, you forget how difficult those games really were. Even Cold War. Cold War was a little, not Cold War, World at War. It was a little different because World at War had just a lot of problems.
It was buggy.
It was just buggy.
Yeah.
But Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, they were hard.
Yeah.
They were not easy.
No.
And you really had to like grind. And like Jay said, you had to build this game. Like every match was an experience that you had to build up from the top. And while I do like that they're adding new things and trying to continue to advance the mode and make it good, in my heart of hearts, I wish there just was no augments and it was just difficult again. And you kind of miss that in Black Ops 4 and Cold War. You look down, you're playing your game, and then you look up again and realize you're already on round 33, and you're like, this just flew by. Like this didn't feel that hard. I wish we could get back to that. But this is, if they're going to keep augments in the game and they're going to try to keep people invested and keep moving and advancing the game forward, at the very least, I like what they're doing where you can only pick 2 instead of just having the full arsenal of augments at your disposal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Deadshot Daiquiri, when you got that thing fully leveled out, was like the most ridiculous thing
was
I've ever
fucking
read in
crazy.
my life.
I didn't even read Deadshot.
So basically, like in Cold War, if you fully upgraded it, it like makes your headshots do 25% more damage. You do more critical damage to like the boss zombies. And then at the very last one that you upgrade, the more consecutive headshots you hit, it goes up by 2% damage every single time you hit somebody with it.
Holy shit.
So every single time you would hit a headshot, as long as it was consecutive. So like you're running the zombies around in a circle, and then you line them up to like shoot the heads. Every single time you would hit a successive shot, it would just like go up by 2%
it ramps
every
your
time.
damage up.
Lawnmower.
And you would just lawnmower people down. And I was like, this is so fucking stupid. I can't believe this is a thing.
And I think really all this augment stuff is for the casual player. It's not really meant more for the guys that are the OG players. Just
That have been
because
doing it for a long time.
Yeah, because they're trying to get more people invested in it, and the best way to do that is make it a little bit easier and make it more
Immersive.
fun.
It's more
And-
like replay value.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, well, we have the original audience of Zombies members. They're always going to play.
Yeah.
They're
But
already locked
as
in.
long as it's round based.
Yeah.
But
Not that Warzone shit.
But if we are able to add new things to get players to be like, okay, I finished that game of Zombies, let me get back in there after I change my loadout, I guess that is an element to it. Because I will say about Zombies, as you get older and you have less time, Sometimes playing one game of